everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, bringing to you another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And it comes with great sadness that legendary WWE Hall of Famer Terry Funk has sadly passed away at the age of 79 years old. And this is, without a doubt, one of the biggest losses for professional wrestling. Terry Funk, one of the craziest, wildest, and toughest men to ever step into a wrestling ring. And lots of people have referred to him as one of the pioneers of hardcore wrestling, and rightly so. He was a huge pioneer in launching that style of wrestling all around the globe with his legendary battles against Mick Foley. Their death matches in Japan are the stuff that wrestling legends are made of, with a career spanning more than 50 years in the wrestling business. What more can you say, really? Terry Funk is, without a doubt, one of the true legends of wrestling. And as I said, he's had a very long career that has spanned multiple promotions from All Japan Pro Wrestling to ECW, IWA, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, USA, WA, WCW, the WWF/WWE, NWA, Big Time Wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Florida, Georgia Championship Wrestling, Stampede Wrestling. He was also the promoter of the Amarillo based Western States sports promotion. Terry Funk has had a very long and amazing career and has held multiple titles throughout his career: the ECW World Title, the NWA World Title, the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Title, ECW TV title, the tag team titles, you name it. Terry Funk has held them all. And when I think of Terry Funk, I think of someone who's incredibly crazy, wild, and very tough. This guy's threshold of pain is absolutely off the charts, and he's definitely up there with Mick Foley in terms of putting on an amazing show and putting his life on the line. That's the best way to put it. And what more can you say? This guy has spilled bucket loads of blood all around the globe, and he's a true seasoned veteran. I can't think of too many guys who have busted their ass for the wrestling business. There's only like a small handful of guys who have taken more punishments than anybody else and aren't afraid to dish it out. And Terry Funk is definitely one of those guys. Now, in terms of feuds, has had some legendary rivalries with Dusty Rhodes, Jerry Lawler, Dick Murdoch, Jack Briscoe. Their legendary rivalry in the 70s over the NWA title is the stuff that wrestling legends are made of. Abdullah the Butcher, Cyclone Black, Stan Henson, Ric Flair, and of course Harley Race as well. Their rivalry going back all the way to 1969, which lasted for almost 20 years. That's absolutely insane. And of course, how can we forget Terry Funk's legendary feud with Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley? Mick Foley and Terry Funk, they have been synonymous with one another for virtually most of their wrestling careers. They've teamed up, they've done battle, they've spilled blood, they've set each other on fire. You know, there isn't any violent action that Mick Foley and Terry Funk haven't dished out to one another. The death matches in Japan, what more can you say? For me, those matches put hardcore wrestling on the map. What more can you say about those two? And also, let's not forget that Mick Foley and Terry Funk were the tag team champions when Terry Funk was Chainsaw Charlie, and they had a legendary rivalry with Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, aka the New Age Outlaws, in the first part of 1998. For me, that was probably my favourite rivalry involving Terry Funk. I really enjoyed that feud a lot, and the punishments that both teams dished out, from the dumpster match at WrestleMania 14 to the steel cage match the next night on Raw. Those teams had some legendary battles. And speaking of tag teams, legendary as the tag team of Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie was, there was one tag team that Terry Funk will forever be known for, and that is one half of the Funk brothers with his real life brother, Dory Funk Jr., and they were a team for over 3 decades. Wow, that's unheard of in today's modern wrestling. When most tag teams they would last a couple of years and then go their separate ways, Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk were together for 3 decades, which is just absolutely incredible. And during that time, they held the All Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles, the NWA Florida Tag Team titles, NWA North American Tag Team titles, Georgia Championship Wrestling Tag Team titles, NWA International Tag Team titles, NWA International Tag Team titles, the Southwest Tag Team titles, and they went into the Hall of Fame in 2009 when they were inducted by the American Dream himself, Dusty Rhodes. And for me, when you think of pure tough tag teams, obviously when I think of two tough men, I think of the Acolytes slash APA, Farouk and Bradshaw. But once upon a time, in another lifetime of wrestling, the Funk Brothers, they were very tough. They knew how to fight, they knew how to brawl, and for me, they were like the APA before the APA. Although both of them were a lot more shorter than Farouk and Bradshaw, because Farouk and Bradshaw obviously are very big guys, but the Funk Brothers, they were very tough, and you know they weren't afraid to get their hands dirty. But it's such a shame that we have now lost another true wrestling legend in Terry Funk. But at 79 years old, he's got nothing to be ashamed of. He's had one of the best wrestling careers ever. And I still remember JR's commentary for Terry Funk. He's middle aged and crazy. That's what I always remember the most about Terry Funk. He was middle aged, he was crazy, but he could damn sure fight, and he wasn't afraid to dish out some punishment for his own personal amusement. And I have a lot of fond memories of Terry Funk. I do feel that at times maybe he should have got out of the wrestling business years ago, but the man loves it, so I can't knock him. You know, I always had some funny images of Terry Funk getting beaten up by the New Age Outlaws, or Kevin Nash powerbombing him through a table, things like that. He was a real stuntman of wrestling. There was no stunts, there was no risk that Terry Funk wasn't afraid to take, and he never met a steel chair that he didn't like. And I'm going to really miss Terry Funk. He was one of a kind, to say the very least. Him and Mick Foley together, they put hardcore wrestling on the map. And I probably would give more of the nod to Terry Funk. He was definitely up there. He really played a big part in that extreme style of wrestling. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite Terry Funk match? Was it against Jack Briscoe, or the match against Harley Race, or his legendary death matches against Mick Foley, What memories do you have of his tag team run with his brother Dory Funk Jr. as the Funk Brothers? What to do, guys? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And I want to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to Terry Funk for all of the crazy memories and moments you have given us. You will forever be remembered as one of the true legends of wrestling and one of the toughest men to ever step into a wrestling ring. And you will forever be remembered as one of the true pioneers of hardcore wrestling. Thank you, Terry Funk, and may you rest in peace.